Exposing the boundaries of federal authority, today's case takes us into the heart of legal controversy. The case of Hamza Khalid versus the state is not just another legal battle, it is a pivotal moment that could redefine the scope of federal investigative powers in Pakistan. This case has garnered significant attention, not only because of the individuals involved, but also due to the broader implications it holds for the legal framework governing federal agencies. Did the FIA go too far in arresting Hamza Khalid? Let's break it down. Hamza Khalid, a businessman with no prior criminal record, was abruptly arrested by the Federal Investigation Agency, FIA, without a warrant. The arrest was followed by the seizure of his property, leaving many to question the legality and ethics of the FIA's actions. This incident has sparked a heated debate about the extent of the FIA's authority and whether it has been misused in this case. The Federal Investigation Agency, or FIA, has been under the microscope in the case of Hamza Khalid. Established to combat federal crimes, the FIA has a broad mandate that includes investigating offences ranging from cybercrimes to human trafficking. However, the agency's methods and the extent of its powers have often been subjects of controversy. In this particular case, the FIA's decision to arrest Hamza Khalid without a warrant has raised serious questions about the agency's adherence to legal protocols and respect for individual rights. At the core of this legal drama is the FIA Act of 1974, which grants the FIA its investigative powers. This act was designed to provide the agency with the necessary tools to tackle complex federal crimes. However, the broad language of the Act has often led to varying interpretations, making it a focal point in legal disputes. The Act's provisions, particularly those related to warrantless arrests and property seizures, are now being scrutinized in the context of Hamza Khalid's case. But did they overstep? Here's the gist. The FIA is authorized to investigate offences connected with federal matters under Section 3 of the Act. The real issue? Whether the FIA acted within its legal limits when they arrested Hamza Khalid without a warrant and seized his property. Section 3 outlines the agency's jurisdiction, allowing it to investigate a wide range of federal offences. However, the application of this section in Hamza Khalid's case has been contentious, with critics arguing that the FIA's actions were excessive and lacked proper justification. The FIA is authorized to investigate offences connected with federal matters under Section 3 of the Act. The real issue? Whether the FIA acted within its legal limits when they arrested Hamza Khalid without a warrant and seized his property. Section 3 outlines the agency's jurisdiction, allowing it to investigate a wide range of federal offences. However, the application of this section in Hamza Khalid's case has been contentious, with critics arguing that the FIA's actions were excessive and lacked proper justification. Whether the FIA acted within its legal limits when they arrested Hamza Khalid without a warrant and seized his property. The circumstances surrounding the arrest have been particularly controversial. According to reports, FIA agents arrived at Hamza Khalid's residence early in the morning, forcibly entered the premises, and conducted a thorough search before taking him into custody. The agents also confiscated several personal and business-related items, including documents and electronic devices. These actions have been criticized as heavy-handed and potentially unlawful, prompting a closer examination of the FIA's authority under the 1974 Act. Section 5 of the Act provides broad authority. This section grants FIA officers the power to arrest individuals without a warrant if they have reasonable grounds to believe that a federal offence has been committed. The intention behind this provision is to enable the agency to act swiftly in situations where obtaining a warrant might result in the loss of crucial evidence or allow suspects to evade capture. However, the broad discretion afforded by Section 5 has also been a source of controversy, as it can potentially lead to abuses of power. It allows FIA members to arrest without a warrant if they suspect federal offences. In Hamza Khalid's case, the FIA has argued that their actions were justified based on intelligence suggesting his involvement in activities that posed a significant threat to national security. However, the lack of transparency regarding the nature of this intelligence and the absence of a warrant have fueled suspicions that the arrest was arbitrary and lacked sufficient legal basis. This has led to calls for greater oversight and accountability in the FIA's operations. However, Hamza Khalid's legal team argues that these actions were arbitrary and lacked sufficient evidence. They contend that the FIA's reliance on Section 5 to justify the warrantless arrest and property seizure was a misuse of the agency's powers. The defence has also raised concerns about the potential violation of Hamza Khalid's constitutional rights, including the right to due process and protection against unreasonable searches and seizures. These arguments have formed the basis of the legal challenge against the FIA's actions. The state, defending the FIA, insists they played by the book. The prosecution has maintained that the FIA's actions were in full compliance with the law and were necessary to prevent potential harm to national security. They have presented evidence to support their claim that Hamza Khalid was involved in activities that warranted immediate intervention. The state's legal team has also emphasized the importance of granting federal agencies the flexibility to act decisively in the face of serious threats, arguing that any restrictions on the FIA's powers could hinder its ability to effectively combat federal crimes. They claim the offences were indeed federal, and the actions taken were fully justified. The prosecution has pointed to specific provisions in the FIA Act of 1974 that authorise the agency to take swift action in cases involving federal offences. They have argued that the intelligence gathered by the FIA provided reasonable grounds for the arrest and property seizure, and that the agency's actions were in line with its mandate to protect national security. This has set the stage for a complex legal battle, with both sides presenting compelling arguments to support their positions. The court's decision will set a crucial precedent. The outcome of this case will have far-reaching implications for the balance of power between federal agencies and individual rights. A ruling in favour of the FIA could reinforce the agency's authority and set a precedent for similar actions in the future. Conversely, a decision against the FIA could lead to stricter oversight and limitations on the agency's powers, potentially reshaping the legal landscape for federal investigations in Pakistan. It's not just about one man's arrest, it's about defining the power boundaries of a federal agency. The case has sparked a broader debate about the role of federal agencies in a democratic society and the need to balance national security concerns with the protection of individual rights. Legal experts, human rights advocates and policymakers are closely watching the proceedings, as the court's decision could influence future legislation and policy decisions related to federal investigative powers. Will the court uphold the FIA's actions, or will it rein them in? The judges are faced with a complex and challenging task, as they must carefully weigh the evidence and legal arguments presented by both sides. They must also consider the broader implications of their decision, including the potential impact on public trust in federal agencies and the legal system as a whole. The anticipation is palpable, as everyone awaits the court's ruling with bated breath. Stay tuned for a ruling that could reshape federal investigative authority in Pakistan. The court's decision will be a landmark moment in the ongoing debate about the balance of power between federal agencies and individual rights. It will also serve as a critical test of the legal framework governing federal investigations and the extent to which it protects against potential abuses of power. As we await the outcome, it is clear that this case will have lasting implications for the future of federal investigative authority in Pakistan. That's it for today's legal deep dive. We hope this detailed analysis has provided you with a better understanding of the complexities and significance of the Hamza Khalid case. The issues at stake go beyond the immediate legal battle, touching on fundamental questions about the rule of law, individual rights, and the proper role of federal agencies in a democratic society. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more breakdowns of critical cases. Stay informed and engaged with our in-depth coverage of important legal issues and landmark cases that shape our world. Your support helps us continue to provide insightful and comprehensive analysis of the legal landscape.